Welcome back to the channel, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the new releases. So, as many of you know already, the Adeptus Mechanicus has some new releases coming out for pre-order this week. A bunch of new units, as well as new Start Collecting box, and then they're also getting their Psychic Awakening book as well. A bunch of pretty exciting stuff happening on top of all the new primaris and the new starter set and necrons that we just saw last week as well. So I'm not sure the exact time frame on that one, though. It looks like that's probably going to be later this year, but as we've noticed already, Dark Imperium is already going last chance to buy on the website, so that's about to go out. Which makes sense because you don't want to be buying that last minute, having that rule book that's not relevant right before the new edition comes out. So I imagine there'll probably be like a few month lag. Otherwise, you're likely to catch like complaints from new people if they buy a starter set and then like 2 weeks later the new rules come out. So I think more likely than not there'll be like a couple months. So that's probably going to put us like, I don't know, like probably July, August, but we'll have to see. That's just a complete guess, honestly. But based on like the shutdowns and everything, there's no way to tell like what's already been made, what's in the factories, what's ready to ship, what's already shipped. It's very difficult to have an idea exactly where they're at right now. But let's take a look at what we got here. So as I'm sure you've noticed, there's the new Archaeopter, Transvector, and Stratoraptor. So it's like basically the two variants for this thing. I believe one is a transport and one is just a flyer. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, honestly. Oh, and there's another one too, Fuselav. But it's all the same kit. You can just build all three of them out of it. It's definitely an amazing model. Awesome to add to the range. Really cool looking. And definitely like fits in with the overall theme. The book looked pretty cool so far. Looks like they have a bunch of cool new rules. I'm not really sure. For right now, I'm not really going to speculate on like how units are going to be and how things are going to flesh out in the rules because there's just no way of telling like how things are going to settle and what's going to be important. I'll come back to the start collecting. But we have these flyer guys with two variants as well. I believe it's like flamers and I can't remember what it was. Combat weapons, and then you have the two variants on like the horse dog things as well. And then we see the release of the Tech Priest Manipulus, which is the one that was only available in the Kill Team set for a while, and that's been long gone. So it's definitely cool to see him coming out. It's a sweet model too, and he has a couple weapon variants as well. So, but let's check out the Adeptus Mechanicus Start Collecting. I did notice just recently that the Start Collecting Skitarii is gone. I didn't get any kind of notice or anything. I wish they would have given us an idea on that one. So, but that's all good. So hope you got your Doom crawlers all stocked up. But basically, the new set is you get the one of the tech priests with the big axe and everything. Definitely a cool looking model. You get a squad of the Skitarii, 10 guys with a bunch of different variants for weapons and everything, and then you get one of the new floating hover tanks, transport or like gunboat. So it's definitely just as good of a deal as the old one. Went up by a couple bucks, but they've been slowly just re-releasing new stuff or releasing new stuff or re-releasing the old stuff and just kind of moving the price up from the lower price point. You know, it wasn't that long ago they were 75 a piece, and now they're pretty much all like 95 or 100. So, and then while we're talking about that as well, it's still a great value and everything because I think like just the floating tank alone is like 75 bucks. So you're basically paying 20 bucks for the character and the rest of the Skitarii. So it's a very good deal, like all the start collecting boxes are, especially as the prices of everything else goes up, and they tend to like not go up proportionately. So, which brings me to the price increases. I know it seems like a low blow to a lot of people, and a lot of the community has been complaining about it. Part of, I think, as a like from a business standpoint, I actually really understand it because essentially what they're doing is they're not able to meet demand right now, and they're never going to get caught up. I shouldn't say never, but it's going to take an extremely long time to get caught up if they're constantly re-releasing or releasing new models and trying to fill out like their old back stock, which like the shelves ran dry there for a while. So I don't think it's realistic they're going to be able to keep releasing new models and keep on this release schedule while trying to refill like all the back stock. So what's more realistic is that what you do is, in order to curb the demand but still make the same amount of profits you would to sell like that same amount of merchandise, you just raise the prices. So it looks like across the board, basically what they did is they raised their prices about 20%. A couple of the items only went up by 10%, but it looked like most things were 20%. So people were looking at it in dollars, and British pounds and all that. We're in America, so I am specifically in America, so I'm looking at it in dollars, and it's basically 20% across the board. And I looked at the English or British pound price list as well, and it looked like it was basically the same thing. Things that were 10 pounds went up to like 12 pounds. Things that were 50 pounds went up to 60 pounds. So it's basically, it's a 20% increase no matter how you look at it. A couple things were lower, but it looked like at least 10% across the board. So if that's the case, the old box set was $160. So assuming a 20% increase on that, it would go up to $195 for the Space Marines and Necrons, assuming it comes with like the new rulebook as well. I don't think that's unrealistic, $195. I think it's more realistic though in the US that they try to price it closer to like $250. So I think that's my guess, is $195 to $250, because that's where they've been kind of doing like the boxed army sets. That's where they did like the Eldar, Dark Eldar set. So we'll see. And then I think if the models were kind of light in like the Prophecy of the Wolf set, and that one was $160. So if you figure a rule book and quite a few more models, I don't think they're gonna throw all that in and make it $195. I think it's much more. Actually, that one might have been $170. I think that was $170 for Prophecy of the Wolf. Let's look at it. Yeah, $170 for Prophecy of the Wolf, and that's light on models. So more realistically, I mean, now it is 2 big characters, but there's a bunch of characters come out in the set. They're not named characters, but if you figure this was $170 and you get, basically 10 and 1, and then you get what is it, 3, 5, 8 and like 2. The new set has quite a bit more than that. So I don't think they're just gonna say $195 on the new set and give you a new rulebook in it as well. I think it's much more realistic that we're looking at like that $235 to $250 price point. Possibly they might even get out of hand and try to go with the Dark Uprising pricing of $295. That one came with a lot less models and a lot of terrain. I don't believe there's going to be terrain in the new starter set, but they used to do that, so maybe there will be. But I think $295 would be a mistake on their part, but I wouldn't put it out of question at this point. So realistically, what am I predicting, or what do I think is going to be the price? I think $195 to $295 is realistic, but I think probably like $235 to $250 is where it's going to end up at. So we'll see where that pans out, and I don't think that's a bad deal necessarily by any means, when you figure they charge like $50 or $60 for the rulebook anyway. So you're getting quite a bit of a deal when you buy those boxed army sets. But it just seems like a huge price jump because it's been so long since the old set came out, and it seems weird when something goes away and gets replaced with something that's, substantially more expensive. But you don't realize how good of a deal something has become necessarily over time until it's gone. For instance, like the Start Collecting Skitarii set that just went. The Doom Crawlers are $75 now. And that set was, I think, like $80 or $85. With the previous pricing before this set came out. So you were basically buying a Doomcrawler and getting a squad and a character for free. And you're basically getting the same deal now. You're buying the tank and you're getting the squad and the character for $20. But what are they? Let me look at this really quick. Yeah, $75 for that. So you got to figure, $20 you're paying to get everything else. And before you were getting a squad of Rangers and a Tech Priest, that's $76 plus a Doom Crawler. So you were getting $151 worth for like $85. So that was a really good deal. as the new pricing rolls out, you'll see that that was an even better deal. So, but yeah, that's it. I just want to do a little touch base. I mean, the models look great. The set looks awesome. I'm definitely excited for ninth and everything. It seems like a low blow with the pricing and everything with what's going on in the economy and around the world right now. But again, as a business standpoint, I understand where they're coming from. That's what happens. People, business standpoint, you're going to bridge the gap. And if you can't bridge it with the merchandise that you need, you just raise your prices. And, it's going to decrease demand a little bit, but you end up with essentially like the same or, higher profit margin. But net profit, if you do your math right, you can make it so you're not losing any money and you're selling less product. And, that cuts your costs a lot too, and allows like those same, pieces of equipment to be making new stuff or something else that you're not able to catch up on based on like the new rules or the meta or whatever. So, but that's it, guys. Just took a quick look at the new releases. Definitely excited. The models are awesome. I just did recently a commission of 2 start collecting boxes for a Frontline Gaming customer, so that's pretty awesome, and I'm sure he's going to be loving the new stuff here when that comes out. So, Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.